Hello guys, my name is Drew Dingle. Today I'll be presenting my project on Pablo Neruda. The reason I chose him for this project was because some of his most famous poetry is his love poems, such as 20 Love Poems and A Song of Despair. Love poems have always been a very interesting topic to me because everyone has a different view on love and everyone has a different way of explaining it, and I find that very interesting. Pablo Neruda was born in the town of Parral in southern Chile on July 12th, 1904. His maiden name was actually Ricardo, but he changed it to go behind his family's back to publish his poetry. His father was a railway employee and his mother was a teacher. Soon after Pablo's birth, his mother passed away and his father remarried Donna a few years later. Pablo spent most of his childhood years in Temuco, when he would publish his first piece of writing at age 13. He posted under the name Pablo Neruda to avoid conflict with his parents who didn't agree with his poetry occupation. A couple years later, he published his first book, The Book of Twilight, in 1923. The following year, he published one of his more famous works, 20 Love Poems and A Song of Despair, which is the most known and most translated piece of poetry. The theme of this piece was depression and loneliness. Neruda then studied French at the University of Chile in Santiago. Between 1927 and 1935, the government put him in charge of a number of honorary consulships, which took him to many cities around the area, and during this hard time, he still managed to put out a very surrealistic collection of poems called The Residence on Earth. During the Spanish Civil War, his friend Garcia was murdered, which affected him to the point where he joined the Republic movement. Garcia was a poet, a playwright, and a theater director who fought in the front and was killed by the Nationalists. During this time, he started to write a collection of poems called The Spain in Our Hearts, which was a very important publication because it was printed during the Spanish Civil War. Garcia had a big role in inspiring Pablo to write this collection of poetry. In 1939, he was appointed consul for the Spanish immigration. Shortly after, he was appointed consul of Mexico, where he wrote General Song, which was a huge collection of poetry of about 250 poems with 15 different sections. All the poems in this collection were created in a very difficult time for Neruda when he was living in Mexico. General Song was about the whole South American continent, its nature, its people, and its historical destiny. General Song was a huge hit and was published in Mexico in 1950 and later was translated in 10 different languages. Finally, in 1943, Neruda returned to Chile, where he was elected senator of Republic for 2 years. He protested against President Gonzalez and about his policies against striking miners in 1947, causing him to have to live underground in his own country for 2 years. After living in a different part of Europe, he finally went back to his home in 1952. He created many publications during this time, such as Odes to the Common Things, which is an extensive description of the world, and Grapes in the Wind, which can also be seen as the diary of Neruda's exile. Some of his awards he has received over his lifetime are, in 1953, Neruda was awarded the Stenlin Peace Prize, and in 1971, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and he was awarded the Golden Wraith Award in 1972. And here is my works cited. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and thank you.